When music artists create albums, there's usually 10 to 20 tracks included with a 30-minute to 1 hour 30-minute runtime, and I think for about 75% of albums, most people only like a portion of an album or only take a few songs out of it. But every once in a while, you get very talented artists who come along and make the entire album experience incredible with not a single bad moment, where you like all songs on an album and stay in enjoyment the whole time. And today, I wanted to highlight those incredible albums and artists. But I want to make something very clear before I start: an album can be 10 out of 10 and not flawless. For example, I think Good Kid Mad City by Kendrick Lamar is a 10 out of 10, but I think there's a slight dip in quality in the last two songs compared to the rest of the album. However, I still consider it a 10 out of 10 because it's an amazing experience and every song is great, but I still think it has that one small flaw. For the albums I included here today, there cannot be a single bad moment, not a single slip up or flaw. These are all fire albums, top to bottom, all killer, no filler, the entire runtime. So not only are these perfect 10 out of 10 albums, but they are flawless. So without any further ado, here are 7 flawless albums from each genre. The first genre we will be covering is hip hop. If there's any genre of music I know best, it's definitely hip hop. I went with a basic pick, but for a flawless hip hop album, I chose Illmatic by Nas in 1994. Yes, this is probably categorized by most as the best rap album of all time, but it's like that for a reason. It's 10 songs with a runtime of 39 minutes, so it's pretty short, but in that 39-minute runtime, you are easily getting some of the best hip hop music ever. The first track and intro, The Genesis, is a nice little introduction to the album. Then you go straight into the first real song, track 2, New York State of Mind, which is genuinely a top 10 best hip hop song ever, if not top 5. Track 3 is Life's a Bitch, another incredible song with another incredible feature by AZ. Track 4 is The World Is Yours, another one of the best hip hop songs of all time with beautiful production and amazing rapping by Nas. Track 5 is Halftime, just another earworm banger with Nas reminding you how short and sweet this album is and that we're already halfway through. Track 6 is Memory Lane, Sitting in the Park, and I don't know how Nas managed to make a song I first heard in high school sound so nostalgic when I first heard it, but he did that. This song just sounds like your childhood in a park. And dude, the production and rapping just comes together so perfectly. This is my personal favorite song on the album. Track 7 is One Love with Q-Tip from A Tribe Called Quest, and just like every other song, it's fire. Track 8, One Time for Your Mind, is probably the one track people say doesn't compare in quality to the rest of the album, but I have no clue what everyone else is talking about. This song is incredible just like the rest. Track 9, Represent, is one of the best songs on the album, but honestly, you can say that for just about every song on here. Track 10, The Outro, It Ain't Hard to Tell, another one of my favorites. The Human Nature by Michael Jackson sample alongside Nas's rapping and lyricism, like what more could you ask for? And that's Illmatic, a great intro with 9 of the best hip-hop songs ever. Not to mention, this is a debut album. Nas was just a hungry artist ready to jump into the scene and make music, and Nas did it exceedingly well, making one of the best albums ever in the process. The second genre I chose was pop, and for pop music, I think a flawless album is Purple Rain by Prince, released in 1984. You can have the Michael Jackson versus Prince debate all day, but I really don't think it's up for debate for who made the best album out of the two. Purple Rain is 9 tracks and 43 minutes, and in this track list, you are getting some of the best songs in the 80s on this. I think Let's Go Crazy, When Doves Cry, I Would Die For You, and obviously Purple Rain, the title track, are contenders for best songs of the 80s. But the whole track list, Take Me With You, The Beautiful Ones, Computer Blue, Darlin' Nikki, Baby I'm a Star, are all just perfectly crafted songs. Amazing guitar playing, amazing songwriting, and amazing lyrics by Prince, who is straight up one of the best musicians ever. The man could do it all. Some would classify this album as rock, but for me, it really has more of a poppy and synth pop vibe to it. I wish I had more to say about this album, but you should really just listen to it. It's extremely easy to listen to, and I feel like anyone could get into this album pretty easily due to the sound. Not only is the title track, Purple Rain, one of the greatest songs ever, but this perfectly crafted album will go down as one of the best albums ever. The third genre I chose was metal, and you could say that's just a subgenre of rock, but I think it's a little different, so metal is one of the genres I chose. And the album I chose is System of a Down's Toxicity, released in 2001. I made a video on ranking System of a Down albums and already praised the hell out of it, but I'm gonna do it again. Toxicity is 15 tracks and 44 minutes, and it's just an amazing experience the whole time. So much energy is in each song, and there's a perfect mix of silliness and seriousness. The first track is a serious song about how prisons want to incarcerate people and a banger of a song. Then in the very next song, Needles, it's just Serge Tankian screaming about how his tapeworm tells him what to do. Everyone knows how amazing Chop Suey is, alongside Toxicity, alongside Aerials. Bounce is Silly and Awesome, a song about group sex and orgies. Then Forest is probably my personal favorite off the album. Guys, like I've said before, this album is just a 101 tutorial on how to make a perfect metal album. You can say any song on this is your favorite and nobody will look at you the wrong way. The last hidden track, Arto, some might not like, but first off, it's a hidden track, and personally me, I love Arto, and I think it's a nice calming track after 14 tracks of just bangers. Toxicity is incredible, as I said before, and it deserves all the praise it gets. The fourth genre I chose for today is rock, and this pick was honestly quite easy for me. I chose Nevermind by Nirvana, released in 1991. It's 12 songs in 42 minutes and hands down a top 5 best rock album ever. Kurt Cobain and the rest of Nirvana cooked up an album that just mixed so many genres of rock together perfectly. You have a song like Polly that's low-key and sad. Then right after it, you have the track Territorial Pissings, where everyone is just absolutely losing their shit. And it doesn't sound forced at all, it just flows so well. Smells Like Teen Spirit, the most popular song that everyone knows, while it is overplayed like crazy, and I mean this is one of the most overplayed songs ever, it's still incredible. The other hits are awesome too, Come As You Are, In Bloom, and Lithium. I'll be honest about this album, my older brother was really into Nirvana when I was in middle school, and therefore I really got into Nirvana. And I really overplayed this album into the ground, so I don't revisit it much, because this is like all I would listen to. But genuinely, this could be the best rock album of all time. Nevermind is that incredible, I'm serious. If you haven't heard this masterpiece, I actually beg of you to do so as soon as possible. It's so disappointing that Kurt Cobain passed away because he had so much potential and great albums and art he had left to create for the world. The fifth genre I chose is EDM, and there wasn't even any secondary contenders for this one. I easily knew it was Daft Punk's Discovery from 2001. It's 14 tracks in 1 hour and 1 minute, and dude, they perfected a genre with this album. I made a short ranking of Daft Punk albums, so I talked about this a little, but this album right here is just 14 tracks straight of creative, funky, and futuristic earworms. The beats are perfectly created, and every song is something totally different. The song Crescendos feels like what you'd hear if you were on the red carpet. Something About Us is a love song. Then Verdis Quo has this dark, disturbing vibe whenever I hear it. This album has everything you want an album to have, and I'm telling you guys right now, listening to this album at night is a straight up movie. Daft Punk is incredible, and if aliens came to Earth and asked to hear an album, this is the one I would show them. It holds up incredibly well 25 years later, so I can't imagine what people's reactions were when it first came out. Discovery by Daft Punk is a flawless album. The sixth genre I chose for today was R&B, and I picked Voodoo by D'Angelo in 2000. It's 1 hour and 19 minutes, and easily in my top 10 favorite albums of all time. This masterpiece is like if you asked ChatGPT to make you a perfect album with perfect slow jam after perfect slow jam on it. This album is so funky and so sensual. D'Angelo's singing on this album is heavenly, and the production is amazing. One Mo' Gin might just be the funkiest song I've ever heard. Feel Like Making Love is one of the best covers I've ever heard, covering Roberta Flack's Feel Like Making Love. Untitled How Does It Feel is obviously one of the best R&B songs ever. Send It On is perfect. Devil's Pie is perfect. The Line is perfect. Chicken Grease is so funky and amazing. Not to mention Spanish Joint perfectly encapsulates what it tries to do. This album is just so amazing. If you have not heard Voodoo by D'Angelo, you are doing yourself a disservice. The seventh and final genre I chose for today was jazz. Not jazz rap, straight up jazz. And there was a couple albums I thought for this, but I thought the best and easiest listening one was Kinda Blue by Miles Davis, released all the way back in 1959. It's 5 songs in 45 minutes, and what an incredible album experience that still holds up well 70 years later. I can understand if this album isn't everyone's cup of tea, but still, I chose a jazz album that's actually pretty easy for everyone to listen to. It's very smooth and very calming and just a wonderful experience. Some other jazz albums can be kind of pretentious and are labeled under avant-garde jazz, which means more experimental jazz, and it's kind of hard to listen to. But as a music nerd myself who likes rap and rock mostly, I will tell you Kinda Blue is phenomenal. In the 5 tracks, it's just so smooth and relaxing, not a single bad moment on here. The intro, So What, all the way to Flamingo Sketches is just perfect, and the set of songs are a pleasure to listen to the whole way through. Kinda Blue is a flawless jazz album and the last flawless album on my list. So those are 7 flawless albums for each genre. Thank you guys for watching. Take care, God bless, and peace.